Okay, so I think if you just glance at the desk, I don't think I need to say anymore. I mean, uh, I don't know the last thing I was vlogging about, so it may actually have been this very thing. In fact, I think it was. The temperature's cooled down a little bit outside, which means painting is a thing. I've been painting some guard and a flyer, which I'll talk about in a bit. Um, I want to go finish painting my flyer, but I want to spray all these stuff. I want to assemble my new orcs. I want to get. I want to do so many things. Hello, little agile lion, making your way past all that stuff. You've been scratching your head again. You have, haven't you? So I'm trying to push through. I think the rest of the stuff down here is going to have to wait. It's lower priority stuff. Apart from that sky landing pad, I really want to do that, but I think we'll have to give that a miss for now. Possibly later. I'm just going to try and power through and finish assembling this last one. Then I can get it all sprayed. Then I have no obstacle to painting any of it at any point. And I can follow my whim. Speaking of following my whim, I'm going to be fixing these two world eaters who have come off their bases, because the bases are just cork and they're glued to super glue. They're super glued to cork, plastic to cork, and they've ripped apart. A lot of them haven't, but these two have. So I'm going to be drilling some pins into the cork to yes, I love you too. I love you too. To do the thing. Yeah, the thing. I'm trying to point the camera at the things. So I'm going to try to pin those in place because I have a hankering to paint the remaining 12 berserkers in to make my unit up to 20 with Khan, or 21 with Khan. I had a game on Friday night with Gambit. It was a War of the Ten Legions game, and it's going up in the members' lounge. Possibly before you've seen this. Off the top of my head, I can't remember what the timelines are like. However, oh, it was such good fun. It was such a laugh. And I have to say, Khan running around lopping the head off his own mates is just freaking awesome. So I have this notion of doing a unit of 20 to run around with him. Probably only 3 of them will ever get to fight, because he'll run around and go, blood for the blood god, whack, and decapitate them as he goes along. Oh, such fun. But I don't know what particular whim I'm following. But if they aren't assembled, I can't pick them up on a whim and paint them, which is totally what I did with that Valkyrie. I picked it up on a whim and painted it because it was assembled and undercoated. So I have to... Why do you want 15-year-old paper clips? Well, what are you going to do with them now you've got them? Not a lot then, you just wanted them. If I put them back, you're going to want them again. No, lost interest. So I'm going to pin those. Then once I've finished assembling this manufactorum, or at least trimming the pieces, because it's a few. I've done the majority of the platforms, I think. There's just these 2 sprues left to do, and the bits that are down here. So there's hopefully maybe an hour, 90 minutes there prepping and cleaning those and getting those ready. Then I can get all this lot sprayed. And in theory, I've got like 5 cans of silver spray. Once they're all sprayed, in theory then, they're a relatively quick job. Because then, again, I'm still following the paint scheme that was from the Warhammer Conquest box, which is where a lot of these are from, which is what the brown plastic is. Okay, is that yours now? Well, what it certainly is, it's covered in your fur. And I've missed a bit on that one. Thank you for showing me I've missed a bit. But just picking out the pipes and the gold plates and the red tubes, then inking it, then a little bit of dry brushing on the raised edges, actually looks fairly decent. Obviously not as good as the box art, or if I spent time, doing rust on individual bolts and things. I mean, it'd look great if I did that, but, the camera doesn't linger over the scenery for too long. So it's not that it's unnecessary, it's just not the best use of my time, all things told. So, yes, hopefully that'll be quite quick to actually do. I was going to put that back in the pile now, but you've shown me a bit I've missed, so I can't put that back in the pile yet. So then I've got some... Really? Then I've got some orcs in this box that were given to me by Storm Shroud from Fast Panda Gaming. Go check out Fast Panda Gaming YouTube channel. They do Infinity Battle Reports. They are awesome. They are old metal orc commandos. And I thought, there are new commandos coming out, but never mind. But then I looked at them and thought, one of these has got a shooter, and one of these has got a flamer. I miss when you could take shooters and flamers in orc commandos. I looked at the codex yesterday. You can now take big shooters and flamers in orc commandos. So I'm like, yay! Can use them again. So they are on my list. A nice big unit of 15 orc commandos running around in the background, lighting stuff up on fire. With their Daka guns appearing. Oh no, the slugger choppers, the commandos, I think. I don't think you can do normal blood axe and units infiltrating now. I think because they were good. They pop out and then Daka. But no, because I think that can happen now. I'm going to do some kind of either video or ramble about the Orc Codex. I don't know when that's going to be, though. In fact, by the time you watch this, I've probably already done it. Because I think I'm filming this about 3 weeks before it goes up. Because a vlog is going up later today. Next week is a battle report. The week after that is Aeronautica Imperialis. Oh, so excited. But that'll already be there. Then the week after that will be another battle report. Then there'll be this. So actually, those things will have already happened. So for you, they're in the past. For me, they're in the future. Sorry, I'm being a bit weird, aren't I? Well, no more so than normal. Right, you've had 8 minutes of cat and very little hobby. So I'm going to put the camera down and then do some hobby and then talk more hobby at you. So you know what I was saying about easily distracted? You'll see I haven't put this together. I haven't taken that off the sprue. It's like 30 minutes later. And I've gone and put those orcs into soak, but I've also put a load of guardsmen and a load of demons. And I'm now thinking, what about all these broken demons that I got off eBay? Let's see what I can do with these, because, I could have loads of corn demons and I could do a demon horde and a demon world and a no concentration, none whatsoever. I despair sometimes. I mean, despair. Right, so the thing with all these demons is they weren't eBay. Someone else eBayed them and then got fed up of corn demons and swapped with me for a bunch of other stuff that I didn't need. So I divided them into ones that are okay. Well, sorry, no. The problem with them is I left them in paint strip too long and they've got soft and brittle. So as well as just taking the paint off, a lot of the models are broken. And, not just that. I mean, I dropped one on the floor a second ago and it broke the sword. They're really brittle now. It was this guy. I've now put a join in his sword. Ironically, I'd have been better off just painting over them as they were. And then it looked fine and be far less work. But, you live and learn. Also, the learning there, and I learned recently with my Imperial Guard, is not to leave plastic in the paint strip too long, or it just goes brittle. As mentioned on a previous vlog, in fact, I think it was a vlog I did for Deployment Zone. If you leave resin in Dettol too long, it turns into bendy rubber. I've got a poor poor Forge World Demon Prince knocking about somewhere that is basically like a bouncy chew toy now. I digress. So these are the ones that need no work, or they've needed so little work I've already done it, like just bending a horn back into place and dab a super glue. So I started thinking, right, I'll just do ones that just need horns first, and then I'll just do ones that just need this, and just needs an arm, and so on. But then I thought, well, hang on, if I get the wrong piece, then I might come really unstuck at the end. So I've divided all the bits into full arms, partial arms. There's a standard, which I've glued back together. Back bits, full no sword arms, broken bits of sword, which are part of the partial arms, whole legs, partial heads, whole heads, and torsos. So I'm starting, I think, let's make sure everyone's got legs. Then let's make sure everyone's got a torso. Then I think I'm going to build up from there. And I can just see Lemmy coming in, and I don't want her to jump on this. Ah, where is she? She's there. What's she going to do? Please be going to your bed. Oh no. Right, quick, need to fuss her and cut her off at the pass. Okay. Wednesday lunchtime is a good time for vlogging. I'm sure that's the song. You know, from the Lost Boys that the guy sings with the saxophone. No? No? Okay. Right. So, I'm having issues/dilemma time. I'm quite pleased with the way that the crash things are coming out. I want them to look sort of grubby, but not too unlike real planes. It's a work in progress. They're a work in progress. I've done the basic colours, then inked them, and I've done a really thin layer of Thunderbolt on some of the big patches just to make it sort of stand out a little bit. I'm quite pleased with the effect of that. I need to do a bit of dry brushing, bit of other few bits and bobs. The bit I am unsure about is how best to dry brush the mud effect, because I don't know that I want to do it like my normal ground because it's been recently churned up from a plane crash. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to dry brush that. I might start with my usual approach and see how it goes, and then panic, and then go to something like Mornfarm. The lid's not on that. Is this all gummed up? Yeah, that's gummed up. That needs some attention. I'll do that in a minute. Let's leave that out so I don't forget. So that's that. I randomly decided to do this at the same time because I inadvertently picked it up with the plain pieces. Relatively pleased with this. Again, a similar issue with the dry brushing of the dirt. And I'm wondering whether or not to go lighter on the Imperial, on the actual Aquila. But I don't know that that's necessary. The fact that it's almost the same colour as the plastic made me feel a bit weird whilst I was painting it. But actually now it's done, kind of looks fine. So there's that. Now this guy is interesting. So I have a whole bunch of guard that I got off a friend, and I had been wondering what I was going to do with them, because the one I like sort of clean rank and file troopers in their sort of standard armour kit, and a lot of these are kit bashed between Cadians and Catachans to be a bit more sort of distinctive. And it got me thinking, could I use them as PDF? The paint job on them isn't great, but it's very, very thin. The chap I got them off used very, very thin coats of paint. So I thought, I wonder if I spray these with something like grey cere, could I then contrast them and do them as PDF? And I think the answer is yes. I mean, the carapace is going to need a second coat. It's just too light like that. But that was the case when I did these previously for the Juice Dealer Cult. But there's no loss of definition with the extra layer of paint. So I think I have about 100 ready-made PDF troopers that I can just spray and contrast up, which should be interesting. Then the dilemma is, what do I do with all the vehicles? Because, do I spend my time on my Ultramar vehicles, or do I go PDF, or do I end up on all sorts of other projects? So all these things are sort of random distractions from the thing I actually want to be painting, which is this Valkyrie. And I've been working on the detail, and it's not finished yet, of the pilots and the gunners, because I want to seal that up and then do all the next layer on the grey. And I've stuck the frames on here with PVA glue so I don't get any staining. So, that's all good. And that slots in place nicely. And this one, on the other hand, I don't know if I've assembled it badly or if it's a badly designed model. It doesn't fit. With his arms there, it doesn't fit in. So I am left with the choice. If I push it all the way down on one side, and looking at where it's rubbing on the arms. So I either break his arms, either try and take the model apart a bit and see if I can resight the arms so they don't obstruct the canopy, or I cut his arms off, glue the thing on, and paint the canopy, which I don't want to do. I like having the canopy so you can see through. I think it adds a lot to the model. So I guess I've got to try and... I think I'm answering my own question there. I've got to try and get these arms off and see if I can resight them in a way that doesn't obstruct the canopy. Sigh. Right, so I had to saw off both his arms, and then there was a little sort of nub on... Well, there you go. That I started filing it down, and then discovered that it was just... I filed the inside of the thing to... I started there, and then realised that this was just too big. Filed it flat, still too big. In the end, took the saw to it. So now it fits nice and snuggly. So I need to resight the arms. And, I took off his head. I didn't have to. That's just how I roll. Right, so I'm in the garage. After my recent escapade? Oh, stuff on the table. My recent escapade is not the right word. Foray. Nah, close enough. Oh, still got bits of sand everywhere. My recent foray into Aeronautica with the claw. I'm trying to find battle mats of an appropriate size, because the mat we were playing on last time was just too small. So I searched and found one, which is this one, at Deep Cut Studio. That I also found they did loads of other really cool mats and other stuff. So I'm going to open some stuff. Right, mat time. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this one was described as an underhive mat, and I have to say, I do already have a couple of other Deep Cut Studios mats, and I am really, really liking them. The colours just pop for me. They've got a really nice, bit more vibrant. With my colours, I'm not quite as grimdark as other 40k folks. And the Deep Cut Studios, the mats just pop, as far as I'm concerned. Yes, so this one's described as the Underhive. This, I'm thinking ahead to all my Sector Mechanicus terrain. I can just sort of see walkways and pipeways and things all over this, and crates and oil drums and all sorts of good stuff. So, yeah, quite pleased with that. Definitely an interior. I think they'll work quite well with some of these walls that I've already got, and electricity power regeneratory things. Yeah, I think they're looking good. Pleased with that one. Right, what's next? Tomb World. Okay, it looks a bit bright on the camera, but it is a lot darker in person. A bit of that sort of the glare off here. If you can imagine sort of Necron obelisks and turrets and things, and the drudge of the Undying Legions. Oh, this is cool. It's not too prescriptive either. You can put buildings, I think, anywhere on here and still have it look pretty cool. I guess I'm going to need to get some quite dark gravel. Maybe if I get some like black aquarium gravel or something. Note to self, acquire black aquarium gravel to just take off the sharp edges when I've got the Necron buildings on, whenever they get painted. Yes. So many awesome projects, and I'm trying to run them all simultaneously like a fool. But right, Necrons, very pleased with that one. Yes, I am. And here is the Aeronautica mat. Now, it's not exactly what I wanted, because the scale's a bit bigger. I mean, you can see individual pipes, but I guess these could be pipelines, and these are big city blocks rather than small blocks. But it has the hexes on, and you're looking down, and it's got cloud cover and big burning craters and things. It's very city-esque. I wanted something a little more versatile. However, this will absolutely do the ticket. It is a 6x4 Aeronautica board. So the fact that you can get planes getting up to speeds of like 8 hexes and like shooting halfway across in a turn, and your speed of your vehicles will make a big difference on here. Not sure how many of the games we're going to do on it, because the Claw and I are going to play through the Ryan's World campaign. We're starting filming that in a week or so. I'm yet to work out how many of those games this mat is going to be used for, but certainly, if not for some of that, but for future, for big campaigny stuff, big games, like 400 points, all your planes, fighter squadrons coming on at the side to flank the enemy, going up and down and yes, happy. Now, I'm super pleased with this one. This is a sort of arid desert map. It's got some bits of dried, crackty bits, some sort of sand that's blown and stuff, a bit accruing in a sort of dune style, a couple of rocks in the corners. Now, we do already have a sand/desert mat. However, it's got a zonking great big dry riverbed running through the middle. And because the colour tones change quite dramatically on that riverbed, unless you want to... It looks quite odd if you plonk a building over the middle. Even if you put gravel up to it, you can really tell that it's sort of not meant to be there. It's jarring. So for some variety in the desert side of things, I've gone for this. Yeah, and this should look good. This is a fairly blank slate. I could build any kind of table on this, which I am pleased with. Now, I also saw something that made me smile, and that's the contents of the other box. They do pre-painted buildings. So they've not stayed in place terribly well in the boxes, but that's not their primary function as far as I'm concerned. Let me see if I can make the tripod on my little standy thing work. Okay, can I do the thing with this? Right, let's open this one up. Yeah, I mean, that box is pretty much falling apart, but I don't need the box. The box can hit the floor. We have a building, and I'm sure it's meant to be very much in a Star Wars desert planet style, and it I think, if I remember rightly, the sample miniatures on the picture had drones. No, wrong. Roger. Sorry. Bit of a 20, 30-year throwback there. Roger. And I thought these would be absolutely... I thought I can use these for 40k because they're still going to be the right sort of scale for 40k humans. But I can use these for Star Wars Legion with my clone troopers and the droid army. So I thought, yes, I'm going to get enough to maybe do like a 4x4 table. Another box hits the floor. Biddy. No, Roger. What's wrong with me? So this one, yeah. Another sort of dwelling. The stairs are quite steep. You're obviously not intending to balance a model on them, so they've made the amount of space the stair takes up quite slight. I'm fine with that. That helps the overall usefulness of the model. It's a very, very, very minor price of a little bit of disbelief suspended. This one's got arches and things. Yeah, you can just sort of see troopers being in and out of here and stood in there, casting a shadow, riding up here and blast them. Roger. And they look good on this battle mass as well. I lift them up a bit. Yes. And two more. Did I get like all different ones, or did I order the same one multiple times? Well, that looks different. Lots of crates to stand by. Oh yeah, camera. Pointy camera, Paul. Camera pointy, important. That lifty uppy. Lots of crates on this one to stand behind. I don't know if there is a cover mechanic in Star Wars Legions, but if there is, cover. That looks good, that looks different. And I'm quite pleased with the quality of the pre-painting as well. There's no big smears or anything, like some pre-painted terrain I have bought from some suppliers in the past, but really isn't terribly well painted. And another. They are all... Right, I can return the thingy to the thingy now. I don't need both hands. And... Hey, presto! Yeah, these are all different. I could have these. These definitely sort of could represent the settlement. They definitely block lines of sight for things. You get little sort of dust balls, bits of gravel, more crates, barriers, barricades, rocks. Yes, liking this. I mean, it doesn't entirely cover a 4x4 table. I don't know how big you play Star Wars Legions on, but there's loads of other scenery to combine and combobulate with this. So and that's pretty cool. I'm pretty pleased with that. Yes, very pleased. All I need to do now is assemble and paint all the Star Wars Legions, learn how to play, and then I can use it. So, 2025? Okay, so we're going to finish up today's hobby vlog by looking at some tiny, tiny planes. So what am I doing? So these are my current Aeronautica Imperialis planes, 2 Thunderbolts, and 2 Marut. Hello, yes, you're very cute. You're very cute and furry. And don't show people your bum. It's wooed. Yeah. And these are, so I've got here a packet of Thunderbolts. And so I have set them up. I've done well, one of these is an Avenger and one of these is a regular. So one's got the autocannons and one's got the big Gatling bolter thing. Is that yours now, is it? Oh no, I'm yours. No, it's a plane. Right. This is a regular one. I've done them so each of my 6 planes has got a different configuration of missiles / bombs for different purposes, because some of them are for attacking ground target. Oh, you're awfully fussy today. Is it because I was out all day yesterday? I went role-playing with my friends and didn't die. Are you disappointed because I didn't die or because I went out? I nearly died. I nearly casted my own head off. Yeah, took lots of drain. There was a background count of 4. I nearly exploded. So, but I had to spirit bolt the Shaddam spirit. It was the only thing I could do, and it didn't work. That'd be because of the background count of 4. I digress. Oh, Lemmy, you're so fussy. So I've got my 4 more extra thunderbolts, giving me a wing of 6 thunderbolts. Not quite a full wing, but enough. Then I have got a box of lightning fighters. I'm really looking forward to these. 2 have got multi-lasers. 2 have got las cannons, because there's only enough las cannons in a box to do 1 set of las cannons, which is a bit disappointing. And not enough missiles to do all the missiles. But what I did discover, which I hadn't quite twigged, so yeah, on these 3 that came in the box, what have I done? So this one, the lead one, the one with the las cannons, I've put a couple of Hellstrike missiles on, as well as the sidewinders. No, they're not sidewinders, but they're the anti-aircraft ones. So this guy's good at engaging ground targets from a distance. So he'd be the squadron leader. I don't know why I'm having War Eagles Dare music. But what I did discover is that all the missiles from all the Imperial kits are all the same size. So I could go to my AI bits bag to get extras to do the configurations I wanted. Well, it's a dilemma, right? Because these guys die really easily, and you can only fire 1 missile a turn, we think. So you end up paying the extra points for 3 sets of missiles, but you probably don't use them all. But I guess what you're paying for is the ability on the plane that does survive to the end of the game keeps firing the missiles, and you're paying for that by getting them across. Yeah, that makes sense. So I've got all my ground targets. Irritatingly, the missions all seem to call for 3 ground targets, and the box only had 2 of each type in, so very annoyed at that. I think I'll have to use a defense emplacement as another target, like a dead defense emplacement or something. So I've got my lightning, my thunderbolts, and my lightnings. Very, very frightening. So what I'm doing is, I've mentioned this so many times. I've got the Ryan's Air book, which is around here somewhere. I've been reading it, and I'm playing through the missions in chronological order. But I've looked at the second mission is like an evac mission, and it requires planes with transport capacity, none of which these are. So before I can do that mission, which is probably going to be next week, I need to assemble my Valkyries. Assemble my Valkyries, and then get all this sprayed and painted, which is a tall order. Well, it's not a tall order, it's like a 5'11" order. I mean, it's bigger than average, but I wouldn't exactly say it was tall. Because they're quite small. This may be going to take me an hour or so to build these, then get them all sprayed, weather permitting. Oh, yeah, it's the weather permission that's the problem. Then I've got an hour or so of doing YouTube admin. I've got to put up today's battle report for channel members. Then I've got to edit this video together and post this up today. So if you're watching this on the day it came out, you'll be watching it like 5 hours after I've recorded this last bit. And then I've got to reply to a bunch of comments and do all that kind of stuff. So maybe I'll get on to painting these. I want to think before tea, but realistically it's going to be after tea, isn't it, Lemmy? But maybe I can do... If I can do what's my minimum requirement? I've got to do enough ground assets for the first couple of games, which is Imperial assets, I think, because there's all kind of Imperial assets in this box. Then enough fighters to deal with the Orc bombers, because I think the first game is Orc bombers. Then I think it's painting the Valkyries. Yeah, and I've got till Friday, so what have I got? Monday night, Wednesday night. I've not got Thursday night. There's something unusual happening on Thursday night. Haha, say no more. No, really, I can't say any more. There's something unusual happening on Thursday night. For 3 evenings. What, at a rate of 3 tiny planes an evening? That sounds doable. That sounds doable. So yeah, I'm going to crack on. I'm going to crack on with the tiny plane game. So, today's annual dose of capitalism. If you enjoyed this and you want to support me, check out channel memberships. Level 1 gets you access to the channel Discord, which is a really chilled out hobby place for like-minded individuals. Level 2 gets you my exclusive content, which is a video each week. Which occasionally I don't do one, but it's very, very rare these days. It's a combination of vlogs and battle reports. Some of the AI stuff is going to be going up on it, which is all good stuff. Other ways to support me: if you shop at Element Games and you don't already support anyone else, if you don't use anyone else's affiliate link, if you follow the link in the description below and use the code below, you'll get extra crystals, which is store credit, and it helps me by giving me extra crystals, and the affiliate link helps me out as well. So that's also cool. You can check me out on Instagram. Any thumbs up, any links, any follows, they're all good stuff. So yes, capitalism over. I hope everyone's doing okay. COVID being sort of on the rise again in the UK, but deaths and infections going down. So hopefully that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing. Well, deaths and infections going down, definitely a good thing. Infections on the rise, doesn't sound like it could be good. Anyway, won't get into that. Hope you're all staying safe. And I've got the feeling it's going to be difficult to do any hobbying today with Lemmy being so clingy, because I've been out for the first time in a long while. It's because it was an early start and a late finish. I left at about 7 o'clock and came back at about 1:30 in the morning. So she was a long time on her own, and she meowed at me a lot. So yes, stay safe, take care, and I will see you good folks in the next one. Bye-bye for now.